What's up everybody, AnimeX here, and in this video I will be adding another part to the What If Sakura Was Useful series. Just like always guys, the reason this came to you is through a request in the comments and support shown through the like button and you guys commenting. So of course I'm going to put out a new part for you guys. I know it's been a long time, but you guys have been giving me a lot of new content to put out. So I'm going to get back into the Minato, Itachi, curse marks, and Sakura a lot more. That's what I'm going to be going in on for a little bit, just because I've been kind of slacking on those. So for all of you that are new to the channel and haven't caught up on this What If, I'll leave a link to this What If series in the corner and in the description so you guys can watch that. But just like in every other What If, I'll be doing a quick recap on the last What If to refresh y'all's memory, since it's been a while since I've actually posted this What If. And with that somewhat lengthy intro out of the way, it's time to jump right into it. And so, without further ado, let's get started. Last time on Anime X. Wow, the cringe. I feel that. Never mind. I'm not gonna take that out, am I? In the last What If, Sakura had a fight with Dosu in the Shonen exams, and actually won using some good tactics and her strength alone. After that fight, Sakura was preparing to fight either Gaara or Sasuke, depending on who won. LOL, she's probably gonna take a fat L. While she was in this daydream, the attack on Konoha commenced, and just like in the original, everything that could go wrong went wrong. After Sakura snapped back into it, she noticed the attack and took Naruto and Shikamaru after Sasuke, and we left off with Naruto and Sakura standing together, ready to face Gaara and protect Sasuke. So, like I just said, we left off with Sakura and Naruto preparing to protect Sasuke, and the fight now partially transformed Gaara. Well, I did explain that Sakura had a fear of Gaara before. In fact, she was probably the most terrified of him because he beat Sasuke, who she saw as someone with complete power that she wishes to obtain. But it's also because Sasuke is in danger that Sakura is ready to fight to the end for Sasuke. She also sees Naruto ready to put his life on the line, so Sakura is ready to do the exact same thing. Sakura then looks intently at Gaara, attempting to formulate a strategy against this new, more powerful Gaara. And then, coming up with a single conclusion, she tells Naruto and Sasuke to close their ears. Then as soon as they do this, she whistles as loudly as possible as she can attempt to genjutsu Gaara. Now, Gaara feigns ignorance and pretends to be caught in this. So Sakura leaps at Gaara, preparing to end the fight with one blow, and with her battle cry, she launches a full power punch directly at Gaara. Then, right before the punch lands, he smiles, gets back up, and then Gaara swipes his hand at Sakura, which connects with a heavy blow to her ribs and sends her flying at a tree. Then, without a moment's hesitation, she responds by throwing a kunai at Gaara, which he casually deflects. Then, right before that kunai, right behind that kunai, I should say, he sees another kunai flying directly behind it, and he just barely catches it. Then, she smiles as it blows up in his face, knocking him off the tree. Sakura then tells Naruto to attack while he still can. Then Naruto comes with Shadow Clones and hits Gaara even faster down to his descent. And then, with a thud, he falls to the ground and looks up to see dozens of Shadow Clones, which all land hits on him and damage him even further. Seeking an opportunity, Sakura arises, gets up, and launches herself at Gaara by putting chakra onto her feet to enhance her speed. Then, Sakura hits Gaara with one punch, then two, then dozens upon dozens of punches, unleashing her fury upon Gaara like a JoJo's character. Keeps pummeling him until she thinks he is down. She then gets up, turns to Naruto, and gives him a thumbs up, only to see Naruto's face transform to horror, and he screams at her. Then, before she can decipher his scream, she looks at him puzzled, and then Gaara rises above her, furious, and then, before anyone else can react, Sasuke musters the strength to jump between them, and Gaara swipes at Sasuke away with a sickening crack sound, which Gaara hits not until he hits his head. Wow, that was a sentence, guys. That was a sentence. This sends Naruto and Sakura into complete shock because not only did Gaara just regenerate all the damage that he took, but it looks like Sasuke is dead, or at least very close to it. Now, for some of you, you may be happy, but for us real Naruto fans, Sasuke's cool, so yeah, this is a sad moment. Sakura then rushes to Sasuke and just starts pouring her chakra into Sasuke, doing everything she can in order to give Sasuke some sort of life support. As Sakura isn't in medical need, at least not yet, she has no idea what she's doing, and she's also wrapping up his head since he is bleeding. from that, area of his body. Once she realizes that there's nothing she can do to save him, she tells Naruto to take Sasuke to an infirmary in the village so Sasuke can survive. She knows that Naruto is way faster and will definitely get there before she does, so Naruto hesitates because he knows that Sakura will be fighting Gaara alone. But when he sees Sakura's intent, look, and determination, he decides to trust her and leave with Sasuke. Then, with both of them gone, Sakura prepares to fight Gaara with all she's got. Now, some of you may be wondering, well, Anime X, what do you mean Sakura's gonna fight Gaara? She's completely useless. Well, in case you didn't understand, that's the point of the what if. That's the entire point. We're making Sakura not useless. You get it? It's a what if. But it's because it's my what if, okay? It may not make sense to you, but I've been doing like 3 parts of build up for this. So I'm gonna do it. Leave me alone. So, Sakura knows in the back of her mind that right now she has no way of beating Gaara since he can regenerate from all her attacks, and Genjutsu doesn't work since he's in Jinchuriki. She doesn't know that he's in Jinchuriki, but she knows her Genjutsu didn't work. But once she remembers that Sasuke sacrificed himself and his goals for her, and once she remembers what Gaara did to Sasuke, she knows that even if she can't win, she has to win. She has to find some way. She knows it's what Naruto would do. So until she finds that way, she decides the best plan for now is testing the waters. She starts off with some fairly obvious Genjutsu just to see how absolute Gaara's Genjutsu resistance is. When he isn't phased by that, she decides to try a more subtle Genjutsu that he wouldn't notice. Like instead of there being, say, 10 trees, there are now 9. She does this to test if Gaara's defense Genjutsu is absolute. When she sees that if he or the tailed beast doesn't notice the Genjutsu, like it's not too large for them to actually notice, she has a plan that, makes an obvious snapping motion when she uses to set off an obvious Genjutsu that Gaara breaks out of. Then the follow-up Genjutsu comes in. And the second Genjutsu influences Gaara to think that he hit Sakura and is just brutally beating her up into when he's fighting something completely different, which is essentially a clone. Not a shadow clone, a regular clone, because that's Sakura's speciality, guys, clones. And Sakura affected all of Gaara's senses in this Genjutsu, so Gaara feels him hitting Sakura, or at least in his mind he does. Sakura was able to later up this Genjutsu by she was able to layer up this Genjutsu by using both visual and auditory Genjutsu under the guise of it just being auditory, because the visual cue was her snapping, that was the subtle Genjutsu. Now, while Gaara is fighting and chasing after a clone, Sakura is preparing her chakra. She's putting her training into practice, and she prepares a barrage that should knock Gaara out if successful. She then leaps into the air and begins to utterly pummel Gaara directly in the face, which ends up flying and knocks him out cold. But she doesn't stop there. Once she does that, she turns around and she just starts keep pummeling him. She keeps going and going and going, trying to make sure Gaara cannot recover from any of her attacks. Then, she thinks that she's actually won. She turns, cocks back her arm for one final blow, then punches Gaara directly in the face, which sends him flying and knocks him out, even if he would have already not been knocked out. When she does this, she turns around and starts heading back to the village, out of chakra and out of energy. Then she is heading home. Then when she's heading back, she hears the sound of destruction behind her, along with a bone-chilling laugh. And this turns to see Shukaku, which strikes fear into Sakura's heart. She sees this and sheds a tear, not from fear, because she gets over that, but because she let down Naruto. Naruto trusted her and she didn't win. And because of this, she laughs and turns to Shukaku. She works so hard to catch up, yet she's still so far behind. She wonders if it was maybe fate, and she breaks down. She cries for the sacrifice that Sasuke made for no reason. Sakura cries because she couldn't fulfill her promise. Sakura then turns to Shukaku and decides to stand up and prepare to go out fighting. Then, just as she is about to be attacked by Gaara, she sees a giant toad hover over her, and then Naruto on top of that toad. With this sight, she tries to muster more strength, but then passes out, upset at her uselessness once again. After Sakura passes out, she wakes up in a hospital with Naruto standing next to her bed, looking at her intently, wondering if she's okay. When she asks what happened, Naruto rushes, gives her a hug, and while Sakura hesitates to come back at first, she just decides to give him a hug and, whatever. Be all nice and stuff. So, when she asks what happened, Naruto tells her how she held off Gaara long enough for Naruto to come back and summon Gamabunta, who was able to help him beat Gaara and Shukaku. Then, after that, he took Sakura to the hospital, and he heard her apologizing almost all the time that she was unconscious. As soon as Naruto says this, she breaks down and apologizes to Naruto for being so weak-willed and, too weak to beat Gaara. She apologizes for needing to be saved, and she keeps rambling about how she needs to do better. And before she can keep going, Naruto grabs her hand and tells her that she did good, that she did as much as she could, and then Naruto tells Sakura that if she feels useless, then just get stronger. Simple as that. This seemingly simple word makes Sakura cry again, but not from sadness like it did last time, but from joy. Joy for the future and hopefulness that she can get stronger. She then hugs Naruto and thanks her for everything. And after this joy passes, it comes with a saddening blow. She asks where Sasuke is, then Naruto's expression darkens. He moves the curtains next to him and shows Sasuke hooked up to all kinds of machines, which are barely keeping him alive. Naruto then explains that Sasuke is in a coma that no one can get him out of. No one in the village can wake him up. As Naruto says this, Jiraiya walks in and tells Naruto he knows someone that can heal him, but he doesn't really know where they are. He says that the only one that can get Sasuke out of this state is the princess of the village, one of the legendary Seinen, and one of the most powerful kunoichi who ever lived, Princess Tsunade. And that, everybody, is where I'm going to leave this part of the What If off. This was probably the most fun part to write of this series, and this series is still going strong because you guys are showing it support. So as always, if you want another part, you know what to do. Hit the like button, comment your thoughts on the video or your own what if suggestions if you guys have those. If you guys are new to the channel and enjoyed the video and haven't already done so, consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss out when I add new what ifs to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, this is Anime X, signing off.